All right, boys and girls, I'm Miss Nickel here again, and I'm going to read for you your reading passage for day 7. It's called Earth's Weather and Climate. What is the weather like right now? Weather describes the atmosphere's conditions in certain place at a given moment in time. Climate is different. Climate describes the average weather patterns of that place over long periods of time. Climate describes the average weather of the seasons. It also describes possible weather extremes like tornadoes, hurricanes, droughts, or rainy periods. Weather can change from minute to minute, hour to hour, and day to day. Climate is determined by tracking a region's weather patterns for decades. How do scientists track these weather patterns? Scientists measure different weather features. They measure air temperature, which is how hot or cold a place is. They measure the amount of precipitation that falls as rain, snow, or sleet from the sky. They also measure other factors such as wind, humidity, and cloud cover. Scientists use different tools to measure these factors. They record their measurements and observations. Then they use this data to figure out the weather patterns for a region. Using this information, they can determine the climate type. Now, boys and girls, if we look over here, we have a sidebar. And we have some pictures and a caption that goes underneath it. So you have cumulus clouds, nimbus clouds, and stratus clouds. So cloud types. Clouds are water vapor floating in the air. There are many different types of clouds. The shape, appearance, and elevation, that means how high the clouds are, can help people predict weather. Cumulus clouds are puffy and white. They're often called fair weather clouds. Nimbus clouds are dark and gray. They are considered stormy clouds. Flat, hazy stratus clouds are associated with light rain, but generally stable weather. Then down here we have ways that they measure different things. So the two important factors that determine climate are air temperature and precipitation. This right here will measure the amount of rainfall. This measures the temperature that it is outside. And down here we have a bar graph, and it says scientists measure these factors over time to make weather predictions. They also use this data to define a region's climate. All right, our next page, we have Earth's climate zones. So take a good look at this map, and you'll see the various different um, climate zones for each parts of the Earth. These tropicals, like our rainforests. These are going to be dry or deserts. Moderate, as you can see, we're kind of in the dry continental section up here. Polar being your tundra, and that typically involves the southern and northern regions of the Earth. So paragraph 3. Some climates are hot and rainy. Others tend to be cold and dry. These different climates are caused by different factors. For example, regions closer to the equator receive more direct sunlight. As a result, they tend to be warmer. Places closer to water have more moisture or humidity in the air. As a result, they tend to get more rainfall. Regions far from the equator tend to be cold. Places far from water tend to be dry. Land features and elevation, height above sea level, are also factors. As a result, Earth has several different climate zones. There are 5 main climate groups: tropical, dry, moderate, continental, and polar. Each climate has its own characteristics. Each climate also supports its own diverse form of plants and animal life. Understanding a region's climate can help people predict the typical weather will be like throughout the year.